So I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna run out and get my cell phone. I left it out in the van. By the way, I already hit recording, so I don't need to do anything.
And then handouts are
Hi.
More thing?
Hey, how you doing?
Hold on. Okay, we're good. Grab this back for both of us. Stand back here.
The cafeteria, but that's probably not what so I have no idea what they got.
I have two. I didn't bring it by pouring out, but I
Yeah, do you
have the sent me what I ordered the full pack, and I only wanted to spoons, but they sent me the ones with knife, and I can return them if the school won't take them. But
No, I'm not using that one. This one.
Thanks.
No, thank you.
We're down on the floor. I don't think anybody's gonna mind.
Either way, I want to just in case you know what's in
Oh, I can't believe it. I left the cell phone at home.
Oh no.
I hope the kids don't need me.
After you?
Sir, I'm going to the back.
Yeah, my pleasure. So I did Sarah too. Does the kids sign in too?
Yeah, whoever's in
You just keep coming out of the woodwork.
Here's the picture that we took of you. Supplies. Good, very welcome, very deserving. All right. But I have never.
Should be fine.
It's my bad. Thank you, Pam.
This is Alan. Hi. You may be getting an email soon
Oh, good.
from a teacher.
Oh, for ski club?
Yeah. Oh, you did it already?
No, I did not yet, but I just had been letting it. Well, I told you I applied last year to it, and I just kind of just was like,
I tell you who it is.
getting into me.
All right, I think that's better.
I just like, there's so much stuff going on at the beginning of the year, I'll just wait until October. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I try not to be so cuckoo and
I'm all set. I told you today you're a ski instructor.
Oh, yes,
Yeah, an expert.
I just wanted to have the kids have fun, like, you know, just do something different.
I'm all set, but that's awesome.
Yeah, see, I can't do it live. I'm gonna run home because the kids are freaking at home, so you can go get me. I'll be back. I've got the camera. You know what? They're cooking at home. If something happens, I need to be able to be reached. I do. Oh.
Should I call your daughter with my number and she'll call me?
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, Victoria. Can you send David a text? Tell him I forgot my cell phone, and so if he needs me, he should call you or send you a text. Thank you. Because.
Give me one second.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. I don't know. My cheeks feel hot. My ears feel hot.
Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to give you a quick heads up. We're not starting quite yet because we're waiting for the back table to finish up with the new memberships and everything. So as soon as they're ready, we'll get the meeting started, okay?
Thank you.
Does anybody give me a membership form for somebody who isn't physically here? Is Stephanie Wunderlich here? Wunderlich?
She is.
She is. Okay, thank you. Somebody else handed in your form, I think, so I didn't know. Yes, thank you. Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't responding to the things, but I have an IG meeting at 10 a.m. So I glanced at it, I'm like, oh, I can't help, so I'm just gonna keep doing my IP.
Whoever came in on this one, back.
Send out an email. Right back. Step it up like that.
Not surprising.
You'll have to ask him about it. Yeah, well, he asked me all about this after so long. No, barely. Next
We're good. I don't want to leave money here.
We're all going to sit here.
Victoria's right there by the door.
Victoria. It did, so it keeps spinning like it hasn't gone through.
Right, it probably hasn't.
Are you talking about members? Minutes. I just moved that because I don't have a second copy, but they had a financial meeting some people, you guys should have messaged, like, wait, you were there, you were.
These are Tanya's. She needs them back, but she said that they were financial meeting. Tanya's having to have hers on, but she just said she wanted them back.
And this isn't my thing, so I don't have a file on it. I have mine used for other meetings. Really good. Oh my God.
All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the, excuse me, October 2nd, 2018 TFA PTSA meeting. We are officially starting at 6:38 p.m. Apologize for the delay again, but we were getting new members signed up so that we can grow and have more voices. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jason Marcotte. I have an 8th grade daughter, Hannah. She's been here for almost 3 years now. And I am currently the PTSA president. We have Sue Lawton, who is our secretary. Son is in the 10th grade. We have Tom Hoyt. Hewitt.
Two 8th graders.
I'm Pam Warren, I'm the treasurer, I have an 8th grader.
And then we have
Nicole Bronte. I'm lucky to have an 8th grader too.
And then we also have
Rachel Sandel, I'm in 11th grade this year.
And you are
Student
liaison.
I am, yes, student liaison.
any questions about who's where? Okay. The next thing that we're gonna do is the review of the meeting format and agenda. The format is based off of Robert's Rule. There is a slight tint to it, if you will. We are strict, but we are not so strict to the point where you can't speak your voice. We do allow for conversation, we do not allow for bantering. As long as I am sitting up here, or anybody else in this board is sitting up here, there will be no name calling, bantering in this room. I will not tolerate. The agenda for this evening. After a few administrative representative general remarks, we're going to go into the officers and committee reports, which will include the treasurer report by Pam, the fundraising report by Tom, the membership report by Nicole. Then we will go into a committee review. After the committee review, we will have a review of the bylaws. Then we will open it up to new business. The next PTSA meeting we will deliver at the end, and then we will adjourn the meeting. As long as we can move through everything in an expedited manner, approximately 7:30. Okay, it may go over a few because we got the late start. Any questions? Okay. The general remarks. We have Ms. Mooney.
Thank
Dean
you.
Mooney, sorry.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome. It's so good to see so many of you here. Hard to believe we're already in month 2 of the school year, and a lot is going on, as is evident by our newsletter and all the activity that we have here. So thank you for all your support. Be sure to be watching One thing in particular, we have a dance coming up on October 26th, put on again by Ms. DePietro and her committee. I know they'll be looking for volunteers. 2 dances, same night, so that's one pressing thing for sure. I also want to recognize in the room tonight our Volunteer of the Month for October, and that is Tanya. A few words on Tanya's behalf. She surprised me one day with an email saying, can I drop off the following items to your school? And it wasn't just items, plural. It was items, triple plural. I couldn't believe what she had brought to our school in terms of school supplies, toilet paper, what else? Markers, forks, knives, silverware. I couldn't believe it. And to have that come out of nowhere is certainly worth some great recognition. So thank you, Tanya. And it'll be featured in this week's newsletter. But I'm giving you all a preview, so you can skip that part of the newsletter since you already know. And certainly, again, thank you all for all that you do. Look forward to working with you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Greg. Okay, so now we will move into the officers and committee reports. We will start out with Pam.
Thank you. So our treasurer's report has, anybody who's been with us since we started in February has gone through, I'd say, what is it, fourth revision? I keep playing with different formats. In lieu of the audit, which was actually a financial review that was performed on the 26th, there were some things that were brought to light, so I redid the format, and it is a lot, I think it's a lot cleaner, it's a lot easier for me to do now. And I think we're gonna stick with this one, hopefully, for the time being, as long as we can. So, this month we had 18 new memberships. Now this report only covers the month of September, and if anybody didn't grab one, they're on the back table back there. I did bring 30 copies. Hopefully that's enough for everyone. So we brought in 18 new memberships. We had $28 of cash donations. For pumpkins, we had 16 pumpkins paid for in the month of September. There's actually a lot more than that sold. It's just that there was some transition period between the form being filled out and the checks coming in. But since we do what is called cash accrual basis, we only record the dollars when they're actually received. So the other thing you'll notice on the treasurer's report is that though I list the PayPal amount that we've made, it's not actually deposited into the bank account yet, so I'm not technically recording it. I'm just putting it on there so that everybody knows how much it has been sold and how much has been collected. We didn't write any checks, so there's nothing outgoing for last month. And our ending balance is $2,174.33. We currently, as of September 30th, have $193.75 due to New Hampshire PTA by October 15th. New Hampshire PTA has changed the laws, so this year we have to pay dues 3 times a year, which is helping with their cash flow, and in all honesty, it helps us kind of keep on top of it as well. But that's due by October 15th. So everybody who paid today will have their portion of New Hampshire and national PTA sent to the state within the next few days, really. I'm going to package it up and send it off, so this will be before the 15th. Real quick, administration has asked us to have some sort of blocking mailbox. We currently have a small cash box, which is great for our events, but we need something permanent and fixed in the office of the school, so that the secretaries can be a little bit more hands-off. They can take the envelope, they can drop it in the box, and they're done with it. They don't have to worry about, opening the box, putting it in there, worrying about where the box is. They have enough to deal with during the day, I'm sure, that they don't need to worry about where our lockbox is. So that's something I'm going to be discussing coming up. We're going to purchase a locking mailbox that will mount in the wall. They're about $35. Or the other option was to make a freestanding wooden structure that could stand somewhere in the lobby. Haven't run that by the dean yet, so I don't even know for sure if that's an option.
That's good.
But that is a conversation that's going to be coming up. It would be a great project for some kids if they're into woodworking. I know we don't have a woodworking shop here, but I don't know if a 3D printer could do something that big, but it has to be big enough that you can't grab it and walk out the door with it. Cub Scout, Boy Scout, yeah, Boy Scouts would be great for that too. So, or we can do the easy thing of buying a mailbox that locks and put it on the wall. So we have options, but we do need to do something soon, just to take that off of the administration. I'm going to be preparing the tax returns soon. That has to go by November 15th, along with some other reports to the state of New Hampshire and a report to New Hampshire PTA. On the back side of the treasurer's report, I do have a copy of the budget. And I don't know if we want to do a vote tonight on it. But I'd like to increase the supplies from $100 to $200. And there's basically two reasons for that. One is for the mailbox, and the other is because we need to purchase toner to be able to use the school's copier. And that runs about $90. So just the toner alone eats up pretty much everything we have put aside for supplies. But that toner will get us basically printing all throughout the year here. I can only print so much at work before I'm getting a cup. I'm hitting the limit here. So I would like to propose a vote to increase the supplies amount on the budget from $100 to $200 to cover the mailbox and the purchase of toner.
I'll make that motion.
So could you just make a motion today? And seconded. Second motion.
Do we have any discussion, thoughts on the mailbox?
My question is how often with the $90 expense would you be putting that in? Is this just
That
is
was
this for the yearly expense? We're talking $190 per ton?
Yes, so the $200 covers administrative supplies for the entire year. That $90 toner should print, I think it's a 60,000 page toner. So that is more than enough for what we need to print. 60,000 pages of 5% coverage, it's only a few sentences, but
Yeah.
it should be enough for what we need to print.
I was just making sure that was enough.
Yeah. Yes.
Second question, are you proposing that you're gonna use your own toner, like you're gonna put it in the machine when you're making copies and take it out, or you're just gonna give it to the school?
You know, we haven't discussed that yet. I think as long as administration knows that we've purchased a toner and it's in their stock to use, I think it would be okay for us to use the copier.
How would you
But I
reconcile
haven't.
that then?
That I'd have to discuss that with the school. That wasn't, it was kind of a trust issue, I think. They were, thinking we're not gonna come in and make hundreds of thousands of copies of something. It's,
Once we don't go over 60,000.
Yeah.
The rest of it is considered donated.
yeah.
I guess that would be one way to look at it. Is that doable?
Do we have any other discussion on it?
Yes.
That's a lot of pages.
Do you wanna go over some of the stuff that we are printing, some of us ourselves right now on a monthly or consistent basis?
Yeah, so all the paper you see here was printed between the 5 of us, basically at our jobs or at our home printers. We try to bring as many copies of things as possible. I brought 30 copies, two-sided of the treasurer's form, and I also brought 50 copies of the membership form. Typically, if you were paying for this at Staples, it would be about 5 cents a copy, even if it's black and white copy.
All of the Bertucci's,
all the Bertucci's
all of
coupons.
the fall festival, brochures.
We were also gonna try printing our newsletter. That was just gonna be black and white, but we wanted to, and that was really the bulk of the project, right? So we wanted to be able to print our newsletter to have kids bring that home. Because, some people's emails, communication doesn't necessarily work, or that's not the best method to them. Yeah.
From my experience at another PT parent group, we actually, after a few years, bought our own copier, and we have our own color paper. So if it comes home on green, it was from the parent group.
That's an awesome idea.
So I might suggest that we invest in our own, pick a color for now, but eventually start looking at, we actually have our own printer in the school, and it's only used for parent group stuff. So, but that's something to price out and to look at for the future. But I think it is, if you're gonna be printing that much stuff, eventually you do want your own copier.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna do a roll call for vote on the purchase of the toner cartridge, raising the budget to $200. Sue will be reading off the name, give either a yay or a nay.
Leah Ample. Some people didn't sign in. Patrice,
Yes,
Valerie Colhorn, Nicole Ferrante,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Stephanie Ian Jackson, right there. Tanya,
Yes.
I say yes. Jennifer Longwell,
Yes.
was that a yes? Thank you. Pam Moore, Jenny Nichols,
Yes.
Allison Willett, Christy Willett,
Yes.
Jennifer Park, Marilyn Rodell, Moira Ryan,
Yes.
Elizabeth Sandell,
Yes.
Rachel Sandell,
Yes.
Erica is not there, right? Nicole,
Yes.
Danielle Stevens, Christy Tehakos, Nicole Taku,
Yes.
Noel, sorry, Jennifer Bessie,
Yes.
Frank Bessie,
Yes.
Francesca,
Yes.
Jason, Kim Lavalley, Eric Willett,
Yes.
Jacob, is he around?
Yes.
Okay. Tracy Page,
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Glenn Douglas,
Yes.
Jennifer Nelson,
Yes.
Amanda Saunders,
Yes.
Garrett Saunders,
Yep.
Victoria Sullivan,
Yes.
Christine Allen,
Yes.
Sarah Allen,
Yes.
Tracy Srood,
Yes.
Matt Mercier,
Yes.
and Stephanie Winchler. Sorry if I screwed that up.
That's Wonderlic, yes.
Wonderly, that's you. Sorry about that, yes, okay, we're done. So the only one that we have, it was all yes, there was one abstention.
Okay. So the motion to approve a upgrade to the $200 supply budget and toner purchase is approved.
Okay, so, real quick, we did do our financial review on September 26th. It came out pretty clean. There were just a few format type things and a couple of different procedures that I'm going to be following to try to make the transactions themselves a little bit easier to follow and have better flow through with that. Of course, if anybody ever has any questions, I have copies of everything with me pretty much at all times. If there's anything anybody wants to see, I'm willing to show you my binder. Of course, it's still a little bit of a mess because it's taken apart a little bit during the audit. But yeah, it went pretty well for our very first one, and in all honesty, I've never actually been a treasurer before. I've worked in accounting for a long time, but being a treasurer really is a shift. I do accounting photocopiers, so it's a very different kind of thing that I'm doing here, but it's still accounting and I still like it, and I'm glad to be doing it.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
So that concludes my report.
Thank you. Okay, we will move on next to fundraising with Tom.
Hi, Tom Hewitt, VP of Fundraising. Glad to see everybody here tonight. First thing I'd like to do is recap our Bertucci's night. Noel and Elizabeth coordinated that. It was last Thursday. Noel talked to Bertucci's and they're going to be sending us a check for $303.51, which is really good. A lot of people were there when I went. It looked like people were having a good time. I hope you did if you went. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. The pumpkin raffle is underway. As of this afternoon, we've actually sold about almost 40 tickets. It says 30 on the agenda, so it's really starting to pick up. To clear up some confusion on that, maybe I didn't do a great job getting out the information on the difference between the fall festival and the pumpkin raffle. So the pumpkin raffle is the fundraising event of the fall. We will be announcing the winners of that at the fall festival, but you don't need to buy a pumpkin raffle ticket to go to the fall festival. You're just the winner will be announced there at the end of the night. So get the word out on that. We're doing really well, I think. We do need someone who is not going to actually buy a lottery ticket to come and pick the winning pumpkin. So if any of you are interested or you know someone that is, please contact me. So that, there's no concerns about who's picking that pumpkin. But it looks like things are going well, and if you can keep sharing that, that would be great. Going right to the Fall Festival, it's scheduled for October 19th. The cost is $5 a family, and that's a suggested donation. We're certainly not turning anybody away at the door. The timeline for the events. We are going to start.
I'm sorry, do you want to say what that $5 is?
I'm going to get to all that.
Okay.
So for the timeline for events, it's spelled out on the agenda, but if you don't have it, the event starts at 5:30. So we're going to start setting up at 3 o'clock. There's no school that day, so that should make things a little easier. Ms. Nichols has gotten out word about the Scarecrow contest, and what that is the roundtables that want to participate are each going to create a scarecrow, and we're going to put them out there, and we're going to judge them, and we're going to have a middle school winner and a high school winner. And the winning roundtable, that teacher will get a gift card for $50 to spend on her classroom, and the kids will get their choice of either a breakfast or a lunch by the PTSA. So that's the incentive for that. One of the things I'm going to be asking for volunteers is we need judges. I know Pam signed up to be one, but we need a total of 6. And we would need three judges that don't have children in middle school and 3 judges that don't have children in high school. And that way we get that going. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to be passing around a sign-up sheet for the Fall Festival later. That would certainly be something we could use some help with. And then the Scarecrow contest winner will be announced at 6:30. T-Bones has donated 2 $25 gift cards to us. Thank you to Noel Teku, who's really done a lot of work on this. We're going to be giving those away as door prizes to whoever comes. We're going to announce the winner to that at 7 o'clock. At 7:30, we're going to announce the winner of the pumpkin raffle. And at 8 o'clock, when the event ends, we're going to start cleanup until done. We're going to be looking for a lot of help with setup and cleanup. As far as events go, we talked about the T-Bones door prize. We're going to have pumpkin decorating for the kids that come. The art department teachers have volunteered to do some face painting. Thank you very much. Ms. Nichols is going to be doing donut on a string. We have a bake sale that Patrice is taking point on. Ms. Sandville helped put together the sign-up payments that went out for things that we needed for that. Scarecrow contest, we're going to have some music there. We're also, it's not on the agenda, but we're also going to try to get pizza from Pizza 911 so that people have something to eat. So it should be a good time. The whole thrust behind this was to have more of a social event where we could all kind of hang out. So it should be a good night. Hoping you all will be there. I do have a sign-up sheet that we started at the last fundraising meeting, and I will be available after the meeting at the back table, which is some of the things we need. So obviously we need help with setup, with the door, the bake sale, we need help with parking, the contest judges, and obviously cleanup. So if you're interested, or any of your kids are interested in helping out, come see me after. And we'll get that. I also put my email and my phone number at the bottom of this page. The best way, my preferred way to be contacted is by phone or email. I will respond to you. So if you have any questions, if you can't get me tonight, you decide you want to join, email me, call me, text me, just let me know who you are so I know who I'm texting back. And I'd be happy to have the help. The next fundraising committee meeting is really a fall festival prep meeting, which is October 16th at 6:30 here at the school. Anybody who's interested in taking part in that, please come. Something I'm doing this year to try to communicate better is at the end of all my fundraising committee meetings within 48 hours, I am emailing out what's called my recap of the meeting to anyone who wants it. The people who showed up at the fundraising meeting all got it this time. If some of you here want it and you can't get to the meeting, let me know, and I'll take your information and I'll make sure you get all those going forward in the future.
I have 3 questions. Did you ever follow up on Rachel's suggestion of giving Mrs. DePietro the Halloween stuff for the dance?
I don't think it's been officially decided, but I'm open to it if we want to talk about it.
that she was on
Yeah.
hold by me. Did you reach out to me? I did not yet. Can you do that next week, please?
I have two more things. I wanted to say that I genuinely like the recap, I did say that, I think it's helpful. And then I also wanted to ask a question, I know last time we talked about doing something for the teachers that's not necessarily supplies or food or whatever. Is there any way we could do something like a $50 Visa gift card for the teacher of the month?
I think I'm happy to open it to discussion, if that's where.
Is that a fundraising?
we'd have to get a,
It's,
we'd have to make
I mean, as a regular business,
And then there are other things that I could also suggest, like maybe a turkey and things, I mean, I just wanna do something creative that's not necessarily a work-related thing, that's something fun for them.
You have a response, Steve?
Such an item would be very welcome right now. Last year, an anonymous donor gave $25 gift cards to La Coretta for every month for the teacher of the month. They made a nice presentation in addition to the certificate and the big hoopla in the classroom to give this certificate, to give this gift card rather. We don't have that going on right now this year, so such an item is missing and would be very much welcome. Thank you.
I have, can we do that? I mean, that doesn't benefit all kids or all of our teachers. So I'm just wondering if that's allowed. I don't know how this,
The only thing is, I don't know that we could do it for everyone because of cost.
Eric?
My name's Eric Palmer, I'm the state treasurer. This whole idea is nice and certainly we can all understand how it would be appreciated. Buying gift cards and distributing them to teachers really flies in the face of your 501c3. So your thought process on this is right, your heart's in the right place.
I said turkeys too.
Okay.
Plenty of those out here.
we can shoot
But,
I'm open to suggestions, I would like to have I would like us to have a discussion, something
Well-
for teachers.
I think that Eric finished. How can we?
So, and that's a challenge that a lot of PTAs have, when it certainly becomes, we're talking about like Teacher Appreciation Week and trying to do those things. When you buy something and you have a receipt for it and you just bought a $25 gift certificate, there's been a lot of issues, not so much in the state of New Hampshire, but PTA nationally in different states, it creates a lot of havoc. And if you look at the actual rules of our 501c3, it's really great in regards to that. So a suggested thing, when you do things like teacher appreciation, and that's something that's sponsored from a national standpoint where, you know, it's food, it's recognition, it's all of those things. When doing things, it's not, if you can do something in the name of that teacher, that's something that's going to represent or that's going to be available to the school for all to share in. For instance, a teacher's retiring, you know, the thought process is, I'd like to get her a gift, we'd like to give her a bracelet, something like that. A better suggestion is, you know, maybe you have a bench out in the courtyard with the teacher's name on it. It's something that, when you guys are buying something or having expenses, it's something that's supporting your fundraiser, or it's something that's going to be shared by all.
Thank you.
A quick question, if the gift cards are donated, does that make any difference?
Well, okay, great question. So if the gift cards are donated, so when we talk about when it flies in the face, for lack of a better word, in the 501c3, or something that is really gray and shouldn't be done, when you're talking about, I'm talking about when funds are actually, or something monetary is passing through your PTA here. If monetary or something never passes through the PTA and the PTA is a part of it, or you've got supporters from the PTA that's supporting it, that's absolutely fine. It's when the funds themselves, money goes in and it comes out to buy something, that's where you get into that. So if you're donating a bunch of gift cards from people that have that ability or whatever the circumstances, and those monetary funds never pass through your treasury, that's absolutely fine.
Thank you.
Just also keep in mind, you might be setting a precedence too, but that's absolutely fine.
I have a question. Does that still fall under the same if we ask for the donation and we offer a a 503 for it.
So,
An exchange.
when I say a 501, that's the type of entity your PTSA is when you do the filing. So, when you, someone donates the gift cards, it's never passing through the treasury of this PTSA through this 501c3, and that's what keeps you safe.
So we can't give the number? That's what I'm
That's
asking.
exactly
Tax
right.
ID number.
Oh, so you
Okay.
can't say, hey,
It's a
we're
tax
do-"
deduction.
That's exactly right. You're
Okay.
exactly right by saying that. It's
So-
outside of that.
So should it even come to through PTSA or someone wants, we can put the word out there that donations are accepted, that should go right to Dean Mooney.
That's how it was last year.
It's
Yeah.
just something that's never gonna be recorded through your treasury. So it's a gray area, and it's nothing that's gonna be accountable, and it's rough, it's tough. You're getting donations, you've got several $100s and $25 gift certificates. There's no accountability, there's no transparency. So it's allowable, but it's outside of all of the things that you guys are doing here right now tonight. But I can't stress enough, the thought process, I don't wanna squelch that thought process and trying to do good by your teachers. It's just trying to keep in mind what you can use this utility for, what you can use this PTSA for, from a monetary standpoint.
Thank you.
Yep.
It sounds almost like with the Operation Drop-Off that was done, so
Right.
it was advertised through PTSA, but instead of it being paper towels and such, it could be gift card drive to give to teachers.
Victoria?
I had a question. So if we did like Teacher Appreciation Week,
Yeah.
and we had gift baskets and they were donated and the card was in there, that's okay. It just can't come through us.
It's, when you give gifts, and it's so natural, and it's the right thing, and things like that, that's what's hard. So the biggest way to think about this, or the best way to try to get your mind around what's right and what's wrong, when you spend money, is it for one, or is it for many? Is it for a few, or is it for all? And your objective is to be for all. Everything that this PTSA is for all, and that's how this thing is set up. So when we give a gift to one, with all of the right reasons too, that's really what's making that whole thing a gray area and violating your 501c3 entity. So that's the best way to look at it. When you're spending money, it's for all.
A lot of schools sponsor teacher appreciation, PT, and it goes through your PTA or your PTSA. So you're sponsoring that week, it's a PTSA sponsored event, donations are welcome. Just don't let it pass through that treasury report.
And the other thing about gift cards is it's like cash.
Yes.
It's really, it's cash in a different
You guys
form.
want to introduce yourselves?
Oh, so I'm Brenda Willis, I'm the executive director for New Hampshire PTA.
I'm sorry, I'm Michelle McKinnon, I'm your New Hampshire PTA state president.
So, we hear this a lot, you guys are not unique. It's just trying to think that through and come up with different alternatives so that T's can be crossed, I's dotted, transparency. That's your biggest thing, transparency.
Tom's got one more thing to add.
I forgot, we got a very nice card today from the Arts Department. Last year, through the fundraising, we were able to purchase 2 colored plotters. So they had all the kids sign it, I'm gonna pass it around. Thank you very much, it was very thoughtful.
You all set? So now we will move on to our membership report from Nicole. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, if you put that in the display case, I think that would be nice, if there's any way we could, just so people can see that, something happens. And plus, it's important to impress upon children of this age that you need to write thank you notes.
Yeah.
Any other discussions on the fundraising? No? Okay, so now we will move on to the membership report by Nicole.
So we are doing really great. The first thing on here is membership number recap. So one of our rule of thumbs that we kind of established last year is that we can't give you exact numbers until it comes to a treasury report. So what I can say to you is we're really pushing towards 50-ish around memberships, which is great, because if we think about it, our first meeting that we had really was the first day of school. So our second meeting now into October, we're starting to push more memberships, which is great. Which kind of puts me to the next conversation. I wanted to recap and thank all of the board who came, but all of last year's members who came to open house. Open house was at the beginning of this school year. It was on the 11th of September. And it was so great to be able to see some people who were involved last year. And it was also pretty amazing to meet some new families. We met a lot of 6th grade families, and I want to say that I met a couple families that had students that were joining us for high school. And it was a wonderful conversation. I remember one being, why did you join this school? They kind of told us what they were here for, but they also said, well, why are you here? What are you doing for the PTSA? Why did you all start to have a PTSA? So it was a really great dialogue with those individuals. And I know that we've done a lot of follow-up on the board with anybody who's been interested in either being a member or people who have maybe said hello, and we've tried to grab their information and reach out to them too. We've also had some correspondence back and forth. Maybe people are like, oh, I'm a new member, could you give me some more information, which has been great as well, through that email correspondence that we've had. So moving forward, we have a membership form that kind of everybody, if you were here tonight, you probably noticed there was a conversation at the last meeting, and I believe it was, I might be wrong if it was Tanya, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong on there. It was to talk about a couple different things that I wanted to make sure that we brought up again this evening. Those two things were a checkbox that we talked about for contacting people and individuals. PTA, for if people aren't aware, PTA National has a very big standing on data security for teachers and students and parents and families. So one of the really important things is well, maybe before we said, okay, anybody can message anybody, we want to make sure that that's still okay now, and that people want to get information. So if you didn't tonight, but you'd like to receive information consistently, or probably as much as we possibly can consistently, we are also volunteers. There is a sign up in the back of the room this evening that has on it an option for you to write down your email that you would like to get information sent to. It'll probably be information, we've kind of talked about this, but it might be information about, you'll kind of see first the Falls Festival stuff. We might include you in seeing if you're interested in helping and volunteering and stuff like that. So, so that's where that contact checkbox is important now on the membership form. So, but if you didn't check it off because you didn't get the new form again, we added that tonight because of conversation last meeting. You can still do that. You can sign up in the back, or you can let any of us know, and we will make sure that we write down your email and get you onto that list. And then the conversation also, and I hope that that's okay, again, we don't want to be sending people information if they don't want it. Some people sign up and they're like, here's my money, and I'm good, I just want to support the PTA. And some people are like, oh no, I want to help do other things too. So we're just trying to respect that. The other was gifting of membership in need, not to kind of bump back, but there was a conversation about, from a few different people. We've had conversations about families, and we've had conversations about teachers. So I'd love some teacher input, hopefully if that's okay at some point for dialogue and family dialogue, but I would like to kind of see if there is a process, and I'm glad we have the right people here, for us to maybe gift memberships. We've been talking about that now for quite some time and at several meetings. The membership fees would still have to be, if somebody wants to be a member, they can pay the $8 registration fee that we have right now, or the membership fee. I want to clearly state that. And that gets you all the different perks of being a member. And if you'd like to know more about that, we can definitely talk about it after tonight. But if you would like to just come and participate, you can do that too. You don't have to be a member. Membership gives you the ability to vote at meetings like this, for example. But that doesn't exclude you from participating. So if somebody wants to participate but doesn't want to pay the membership fee, You still can, it's a school community. So we want people who are grandparents, and we talked about that last time, grandparents, teachers, you know, families to be able to participate, and even if they can't afford it. Now, however, if a family, I think was the discussion last time, if a family or teacher truly can afford it, it would be nice to be able to offer some way of being able to support that family. So I kind of wanted to be, I hope it's okay to open up kind of a discussion. I don't have a per se vote, I just don't know what the temperature of the group would be on that. I know we're cutting close to time though, which
I was
is,
gonna say, we
seems
can
to be
give a
what
couple
happens
minutes
with me each
for
time.
A brief discussion, but we are running shy. So do we have any thoughts from the teachers and or family?
All right, perfect.
I don't wanna come across as a student. Again, thought process, it's about building school and community, and the more we can involve, that's the objective, there's absolutely no doubt. And you're absolutely right when you say, you don't have to be a member, you can participate all along, and you're insured, and that's absolutely fine. It comes down to the vote for the paid member. To offer a gift or a free or a hardship type membership can become challenging. Do I think an IRS or agent's gonna come knocking down your door and bust you on that? No. But you start to go into that area where you're offering something for some, and even if it's for the greatest need. A great example of something like this is, a lot of PTAs have line items that are in there called like Sunshine Fund, for if a family is in need, or if there was a disaster in their family. This is what we're here for, this is what we're building, community, that you wanna somehow support that. There are a lot of entities that can do that, and by all means, the PTA and its community would want to help and do something like that. Unfortunately, the PTSA treasury is not the utility to do that. But that doesn't mean we don't participate and we don't have sympathy and all of that. Those are all the right reasons. It's just from a monetary standpoint, your PTSA is not needed for that utility. So when we're talking about membership like this, that can be challenging. I will